In this part 2, we will not focus any longer on the American election, but we will see what's happening in the rest of the world, especially regarding fake news and its consequence on white supremacists and terrorism, like in Christchurch. So, what's changing? Why is the tide changing now? Maybe Christchurch is a turning point. You remember New Zealand, 52 dead by a white supremacist. And you had the Christchurch call with Macron, with Trudeau, with the Prime Minister of New Zealand. Say, guys, this thing has to stop. We'll do everything to make it stop because, in fact, we are here to guarantee democracy, to protect our people. And with this kind of social network out, enabling live streaming, and even if they shut it 10 minutes after the fact, it's still circulating on the web. The manifesto from the white supremacist was 100% with fake news, so he has been completely brainwashed with fake news. And according to Mr. Trudeau at Vivatech, he says that 50% of worldwide election in 2018 have been manipulated by an external force, which is a huge number. So why can we say Christchurch is a Seveso of the social network? So Seveso, it's a major chemical incident in Italy in 1975, which changed completely the way the chemical industry was ruled. Before they were up to a standard to respect the law, and after that they were to the standard to be accountable of their act, polluter, payer, whatever happened, even if the administration at that time could not anticipate the ramification of their action, they should. And why is the analogy meaningful? Because today you still have a chemical industry, a lot of transformation, a lot of cleanup, a lot of products stewardship, still some accident from time to time, but we could not live without chemical. Chemical are in 95% of the product you touch, and the parallel is significant because here the point is not to say we'll get rid of all the data, we don't need data, personal data. No, that's not the point. The point is that we will have to make people accountable of what they do with the data, and we will have to make these things much more reliable, trustworthy, in order to bring value to the society. So that's a very good parallel. Christchurch, the Seveso of the social network. So this comparison is very interesting. So after those Cambridge Analytica, there were many hearings. You see Mark Zuckerberg, the emperor of 3 billion subjects. You have 2.3 at Facebook, plus the WhatsApp and the Instagram. So when the Congress call him, he come and he educates the Congress, and unfortunately there is a lot of education still to be done. But you see, for a little country like UK, the member of parliament, they invite Mark Zuckerberg to see and discuss with him the mess he did for the Brexit, but Mr. Zuckerberg didn't feel he had to make the trip. So Europe versus GAFAM. Why is it important that Europe understands the leadership it can take, and what are the steps? And we have reviewed that the alternative as travel around. So last year at the F8 conference of Facebook, the future is private. That was pretty funny. So TechCrunch and many people say a pig with lipstick is still a pig. So that doesn't make any sense. It's completely different and opposite to the business model of Facebook. So how dare they can pretend to be the actor of privacy, as opposed to Apple, who has always paid attention to that point and try to protect our personal data. So what is important, and Roger McNamee explains that in his book, is the fact that the science of manipulation, or if you prefer, developing new behavior, is well explained by Professor B.J. Fogg, a PhD in Stanford, who teach ethics class for developer. And he say when you want to change the behavior of some person, you have to look on a three-dimensional data. First of all, the ability to do these things, this new behavior, is it hard to do or easy to do? Then the motivation in that people is low motivation, high motivation. And most important, what is the trigger? What will make that people remember to act in a new behavior? And that's typically the bell in the hamster cage, which remind him that there might be some food coming or whatsoever. So you develop those instincts, and the trigger part is the most important part because it rely on our neocortex. When we were hunter-gatherer, when we hear a noise in the forest, suddenly our heart rate increase, we secrete dopamine, and we are ready for action. And that's the same thing when you receive a notification in your pocket. Ding, you have a new like, you have a new friend, you have a new comment or whatsoever. And now the doctors are pretty certain that too many such notification is very bad for your health in terms of concentration, in terms of sleep, you lose that. And you see all the consequence, and we will review all the consequence of that. So the funny part is that this course was indeed intended for developer in the Silicon Valley, and Professor Fogg will ask his student to develop something which is completely unethical, so they could discuss it. And in his class, somebody developed Instagram, which he sold for $1 billion to Facebook. And here, when you understand the coupling of this behavior model with AI, it can be dramatic. That's the first time I see the threat of AI as being able to manipulate us. So, as you understand, in this three-dimensional world, space, ability, motivation, trigger, for machine learning, it's very easy by observing your behavior to understand exactly where is your sweet spot, at which time of the day should I trigger that message to change your behavior. So if in 2015 we could say that with the 300 like, I know you better than your spouse, let's say that in 2020, with AI, with the behavior model, I will know you 10 times better than your spouse. So you will end up asking your intellectual orthosis, like in her, when is the best time I should speak to my spouse about that and that? And the AI will answer to you, or maybe at 7:45 when the sun sets, and so on and so on. So it will be highly, highly manipulative.